evening, everyone. Good evening, ma'am. My name is Anjali Keshi, and thank you, ma'am, for giving me the opportunity. I'm here to present my presentation on the topic the psychology of social media, how it shapes us. I choose this topic because I think everyone can relate with it. Uh, in everywhere there is a social media, WhatsApp, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We use it from dawn to dusk, and we will explore that how social media works in our life, how it is impacting our life, its advantage, disadvantage, and we will also learn some strategies to apply in our life to be productive and balance the social media. So in the first slide, we discuss about introduction. So first thing first, what is social media? Social media is a platform where people connect globally, where we can share our photos, ideas, and our creative views in that. Over 4.9 billion users spending on an average 145 minutes daily. And social media is no longer just a tool, it's a powerful environment that influences billions. So here we will discuss the double-edged sword connection versus isolation. Uh, it basically describes the advantage and disadvantages of social media. First one is fostering communities. As I think it is the biggest advantage of social media because it helps to build different groups and communities in social media. From that, we can uh, join the different kinds of groups like online study groups, some fan communities, health forum. So it is very useful for us. And the second one is increased anxiety and depression. As we know, if we use social media regularly in an extreme level, then it will be very harmful for our mental health and also for physical health because it creates some headaches and eye strain. Third one is mixed casuality. If we use social media in an extreme level and all the time we just scroll and just wasting our time and do not do any productive thing, then our physical health will be decreased and we will feel sick and ill. So I guess the best example of this slide is COVID time. As we have in a COVID time that we do not able to meet our parents or our loved ones physically, so we connect them with using a social media that will be very helpful in that time. But we use it over and over again, and now we become addict on them, and we are not able to do productive things. We are just engaging ourselves in social media. So it will be very harmful in now. But in past time, we will use it very effectively. Next one is the social mirror, self-image and FOMO. I think this is the most common problem in social media as we, first one is the filtered realities. When we are seeing the post of someone else and we started compare ourselves that how their lives are beautiful and how successful they are, but we do not know what is the reality of them. So we do not have to compare our lives with them because they do not show their reality in the social media. They just post their beautiful and successful life in that. Fear of missing out. I would like to say an example that if you scroll and see your friend's post that your friend is traveling anywhere and you are just sitting in your home and just scrolling and see, then the some anxiety triggers in you that what how important thing I miss. So it creates a fear of missing out, and that will lead to anxiety and depression because of your you will starting comparing yourself with the other's life. In this slide, we will discuss teens and social media, a complex relationship. We all know that the how teenagers are most active users in social media. They are always engaging themselves in the social media. They are not really happy to engaging themselves in in interacting with physically or communicating with with their parents and some family members. So there are four main points. First one is reduce face to face. So, because of social media, teenagers are not able to interact with people. They are always engaged in digital world. They thought that digital world is more happier and more reliable to them, not in a physical world. But they need to understand that digital world is good, but in a some level, not in a whole thing. So they need to understand, and I guess they will understand in future. Next one is loneliness. If you use social media all the time and just scrolling and do not do any productive, and you will not be able to engage with our loved ones, then it creates a loneliness. Suppose you want to meet someone and you want to share your problems with them, but if you have only social media friends, then how will you communicate with your physical friends? So in that time, if you need someone helplessly, then there is no one to support you, and there is no one to support and interact with you. Third was one is community. As we have discussed, it creates social media helps to build communities, because it is very helpful if someone is very isolated and they feel helpless, then they will join any groups, and that will help to escape from their anxiety and depression. Fourth one is vulnerability. Someone, for example, young women, they are very engaged in social media, and they started comparing their beauties in the other actress or celebrities. Because of that they feel very anxious about their beauty, but they do not know that true beauty lies in kindness. Next slide is real world consequences, sleep, memory, and well being. I think we all face this problem, because it is very common that if we using social media all the time, uh, then we will not able to sleep because of the blue rays. It feels like because of blue rays, our brain feels that it's a daytime, not a night time. So it creates a improper sleep, and sometimes continuously message pop up in our phone that because of that we are not able to sleep. Next one is impaired memory. As we are engaged in social media, that doesn't mean that we use only one constant social media. We just switch our one social media to another social media and different apps. That creates unproductive in our life, and also we are not able to concentrate in one thing. Next one is physical state. Because of whole use of social media and scrolling all the time, it creates a physical health problem and mental health problem as well, as like headache, eye strain. Here we will discuss some tips and strategies. First one is set time limits. As we know that our mobile has a features of time limits, we can set our time limits in different apps that will remind us to stop there, not use more than that. That will be very helpful for us. Next one is curate your feed. It is very important because it triggers you all the time if you follow some unproductive and some waste materials in social media. If you follow some good successful men in social media, then it will be very helpful for you to be productive, to be natural in your life, and you will feel very motivated day to day. Prioritize real connection. as we have seen the reduced face, because of that social media, we are not able to face real connection in our life. So we have to prioritize real connection, because at the end, you know that we have to sit together with our family member and spend our time with them, because they are the one who take care of ourselves, who take care of themselves. In the conclusion, these 3 points are correlated with each other: awareness, intentional use, healthier future. If you know how to use social media, if you are aware how it will be helpful for you, then you will not use it but just by your habit. You will use it as a good way, as a balanced way, and that will shape your future in a productive way. So we will use social media in a productive way, because it will be helpful, but it has some disadvantages, and we need to know that our life is more important than the social media. We save social media, so do not let the social media saves us. So I would like to end with a quote that social media isn't enemy, mindless scrolling is. Let's use it to connect, not to compare. Thank you.